it doesn't matter what it is. It's kind of like Biden. It's really nice to have somebody to blame for everything. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, my dog peed in the house. That damn Joe Biden. Have you noticed that? Doesn't matter what it is. My husband left the lawnmower out and it rained on it and rusted it. That damn Joe Biden. I mean, it's like the most unbelievable thing I've ever heard. They blame for everything.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is, they blame him for.
I don't understand when they blame them for the cost of gas. I mean, isn't the gas run by oil companies?
Yes, and it's determined by the world market and OPEC. They set the pricing. It's not us. Now, I do think that, but of course our Congress, and it's not up to Joe Biden, folks, because we don't know how the government works. A bill starts in the House, it moves to the Senate, and then it goes to the President. The President cannot make laws. Okay, Congress makes laws. So anyway, I do think that we ought to do something like say that the oil companies can't export oil until we have all of ours at a reasonable price. And then after that, they can go on the world market. I think we should keep our oil here. But that would take an act of Congress and an act of the Senate, and we all know that at least 50 people in the Senate will say, no, we're not helping the American public. We don't want to. You know?
Oh, Lord.
You know, so, well, they voted, you know, all those, not all, but almost all of the Republican senators, enough to block the bill, voted against the measure that was there to help do some emergency production for baby formula.
Oh, really?
That's why it didn't happen. They voted against it. The Republicans actually voted against it, people, but they're pro-life. I mean, how can you be pro-life and vote against the proliferation or the making of baby formula?
Well, you know, Cruz is probably in on it.
Yeah, he was one. Yeah, and you know, so that's like, okay. So Biden went out overseas, took the plane, did a war thing, and went over there and brought the baby food back, the baby formula back. And I'm pretty sure the Republicans are mad about that because, you know, they had voted down supporting that and the main reason for that is because they want to make him look bad so he doesn't win again. They don't care about your baby starving. They don't care about your kids getting shot in school. They don't care about any of that stuff because if they did, they would put common sense gun laws in. They would have supported the act to make open manufacturers and to make more baby formula. That, you know, all of the things that they do are counter to what they say. And, you know, it's not about what you say, it's about what you do. Well, let's see. You know, so far, everything that you're doing is against the family.
All the time.
All the time. But they want to force people to have babies, and then they want to be against every single thing that will help them. Because the majority of people that have unwanted pregnancies in terms of developing into a child, when you don't have abortion readily available, are going to be people that are poor. They can't afford it. Or middle class that can't afford it. So they're forcing poorer people to have these children, and then they're not doing anything to help them. That's pro-birth, that's not pro-life. Well, that's true.
I love the way you put that, because it's real. Yeah. And they play on this, and I wish there was no two-party system where they can be one against the other. That just divides and separates.
It's terrible. And, you know, the other thing that's so terrible is the fact that, you know, we have another school shooting of babies. You know, elementary school shooting, right? Mm-hmm. And they're not doing anything. I hate Governor Abbott. By the way, Governor Abbott, you know, as far as I'm concerned, they should line him up and put him in one of those in a direct fire. But Governor Abbott is one of the worst people, I believe, around. They have the loosest gun laws in Texas, but yet all these people had guns, right? All those police officers, the loosest gun laws in the country, because there are men there, but they were afraid to go in, and they let those children get shot. They let them die. An hour they waited before they went in. I am not a fan of Texas, and this makes it even more. These people do not know what they're doing. They have no laws on the books. They have the most lenient gun laws. They've had 4 mass shootings since this man has been in office in the last 4 years. And they do nothing. They do nothing.
How come? And what's his name?
In the pocket of the NRA, that's why.
One of this, what's his name, went up there and approached him, and they threw him out.
I'm glad he did.
That was so cool.
It was like, yes, go, Beto!
He wasn't afraid, and they were like, get him out of there, get that son of a blah, blah, blah.
And they're cussing at him, and they're,
what kind of...
And it's like, you know, give me a break. It's not politicizing.
We're the tough ones here. We're
the tough ones, but our police were afraid to go in and save the little babies. We let them die. I mean, that's pretty much what happened.
And they didn't care.
They didn't care. I mean, I'm saying the police didn't, but I'm saying the politicians don't.
No.
They don't care because it's all about the money they get from the NRA. It's all about the support they get from the far right that think they have some God-given right to have an assault weapon. I mean, I'm sorry. You know, I think
need assault
if you want to go back to the original Constitution, then give everybody a musket with a ball and a powder loader because that's what they had then. They had no idea that they were going to have weapons like this.
The
And-
AR-15s,
Yeah.
AK-47s.
And I don't think they should sell body armor either. I don't think the
Automatic.
average Bubba should be able to go out and buy armor and all that tactical gear because the police can't get through to them then.
Right.
I think only police, firemen, and military should have the ability to have body armor, should have the ability to have any of that stuff.
But I don't think body armor, and if you really want to take out somebody, I don't think body armor is going to stop you. You come in with a bazooka, boom,
Yeah.
it's
And
over.
let me ask you a question here.
Not a
This
hard one, is it?
It's really hard. No.
Well, if it's too hard, I'm elementary.
They said, one of the arguments is the Constitution, because of course that's an interpretation of it, guarantees us the right to bear arms. It doesn't say how many arms, it doesn't say what arms. Okay, you have one gun,
Well,
there
we
you
got
go.
2 arms.
Yeah, but it doesn't say anything about bullets, so why don't we just ban bullets?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, there's nothing in the Constitution that protects your right to have
Well,
a damn
just-
armor-piercing
They
bullet
meant,
that
they
goes...
meant this, everybody got the wrong idea.
Oh, that was it, those arms, right to bear
Bear
arms.
arms.
Yeah.
You're looking at those guns, aren't you?
Yeah.
Watch.
Mhm. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go, Henry.
I'm making light of what you're saying.
I know, but there's...
We have to though, Ron.
I know,
You
gosh.
sometimes get going, you're ready to go reach into the,
I'm bad again.
yeah, I'm again.
Can I
You
say?
have every right to be though, Ron.
Well,
'Cause you say
as a
it.
mother and a citizen, and having seen this for decades and decades, and it didn't just start with Columbine. I mean, the Sand Creek Massacre, of course, that was the military doing that. But so many times we see this happen, and we do nothing. And the response is always, well, it's crazy people. It's the people, not
They
the
need
gun.
mental health.
They
yeah.
need mental health.
They always
They
go
do.
with the third person, the other,
Yeah.
the straw man.
Mhm.
It's called the straw man example.
Yep.
It's not the guns don't shoot people, people shoot, and they start that straw man kind of thing.
Well, and you're right. That's
it's like,
exactly.
why do they do that?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because, the reality is that, okay, but what we've done hasn't worked. We've tried, people say they try everything. They tried hardening the schools. They put in more resource officers. They have drills. They do, but has it stopped any of these? No.
Guns are made to kill people.
So
They're not
even-
made for anything else. They're not,
So
you don't eat
I
food
will-
with them, you don't start your car with them.
They're made to kill.
They're made to kill.
Yeah.
They're a
And
killing
especially
weapon.
those with those types of bullets, they shred you. I mean, those children had to be identified by DNA. I
Yeah.
mean, give me a break. That's horrible. But the reality is that we have not, and everything we've done hasn't worked.
Hmm.
So it's crazy to keep thinking, we just keep saying the same thing over and over again. It's mental illness. We need more mental
Yeah. Why do they say
Do
that?
something. Change the law. Ban those weapons. Ban them. And I would say the only exceptions would be police, police departments, people that are in the role of protecting us. And I would even go one step further and say if you live in a very rural community, you're in the middle of Wyoming, and the nearest cop, it takes them an hour to get to you. An ambulance is going to take 30 minutes. You're pretty isolated, and if something bad did happen, you're going to have to take care of yourself. So I would...
I don't even think cops should have them. In Europe, they don't have guns, do they?
And
The
they do
cops-
in
the
some.
cops?
Some do. Some
Where-
don't.
where at?
Depends. Well,
But you can't even tell me.
they have tactical police in UK that actually have guns, but the street police, the bobbies, don't.
See?
So they would have to call in tactical. And they've had these things happen in other countries, but not as frequently.
Yeah.
Not as frequently.
They
not-
ban handguns in
Mhm.
some of these countries, and all that should stop.
And we're not even saying take away your guns. All we're saying here is ban certain
I say
types.
take away the guns. What do you need? They're just killing material.
Well, you got hunters, you got people that want to
So,
enjoy
I would
that
take away
target
their guns,
practice,
too.
protection.
I still would take
you-
away their guns.
I'm not in favor of taking them all away, but I do think
would.
these
I'm-
kind we should.
Do you have a gun?
Yes, I have
You and
4.
I'm taking it away from
I have
you.
4 guns.
I'm taking them. Rhonda, you should not be running around with guns.
I don't carry them on me.
Rhonda, I'm going down to your house. We're going to take away your guns.
We gave our daughter a gun, so we have 2 pistols now, and the 3rd pistol we gave to our daughter, and then we have a shotgun in the house, and we have a .22 rifle. It's a little .22, like a rabbit.
So let me tell you this. It doesn't matter if you have a gun and somebody's coming in to harm you or break down your door or whatever. It all is, and it boils down to this, who's faster at the draw.
Yeah,
That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, pretty much.
Lock up your guns in a special case and lock it up.
well,
so
they
that
don't do
you-
any good as a protection.
Hold on,
You
wait,
get
wait,
them.
wait. Hold on, don't break into my house. I gotta go take my
Yeah.
guns out of the
Let me
case.
get my gun out.
Yeah.
Well, my gun is loaded, and we have no children at home, and it is next to the bed in the drawer on my side, and there's one on my husband's
Well,
side.
just
Anybody
last-
comes in our house, we're gonna be quick to the draw.
Well, last week some guy broke in our house. Well, I left the back door open, the sliding back door. I don't know what I was thinking. He comes in there, and I come down, and we both stare at each other, and I go, "What are you looking for?" He goes, "Money." So I helped him look. We looked and looked. We found
Couldn't
nothing.
find nothing.
Found nothing wrong. We did find a little bit on some of the couch. Yeah.
Sent you home.
Yeah.
Okay. But, you know, I am not in favor of banning all weapons, but I am in favor of making common sense gun laws, registering
I would get
them.
rid of them all.
I'm in favor
Nobody needs guns.
of allocating the bullets, how many bullets
How
you can
would
buy
you
at
feel
one
if you
time.
killed somebody?
What?
How would you feel if you killed somebody?
Well, I mean, if I killed somebody innocent that was not bothering me, that wouldn't be in my nature.
No, but
if somebody broke in my home and I was afraid for my life, not just they were just taking something and running out the door.
I'm going to give you a scenario.
I would feel fine about it.
I used to live on this corner, and there was a big, huge gravel pit, and all the trucks would come and fill up their trucks with gravel and go. And when they'd hit some of the, the corner right there, it'd drop some gravel on the curve of the road. So there'd always be these cars that come racing down Riverdale Road, and they'd try to take that corner, and they'd miss the corner, and the gravel would make their car flip or crash or whatever. I was asleep in the house, and all of a sudden I heard this boom, boom at the door, and all of a sudden he pushed the door hard enough and opened up.
Oh, wow.
The guy was hurt.
Oh.
I grabbed him and threw him down. I did. I was confronted with
Well,
him.
that's what you should have done, because you don't know.
I didn't know if he had a gun, so why would I shoot him?
Well, I wouldn't shoot somebody just coming in, but if,
You just said you would.
well, I mean, if, I would
He was
wait.
just breaking in my house.
I would wait, I mean, see
He
what
was
was going on.
hurt badly. His
Yeah.
family was hurt. 2 died in that crash.
Wow, that's terrible.
So, just so you know, there's these scenarios.
Yes, and I'll tell you one thing, we have a Make My Day law in Colorado, and
Make my steak law?
yeah, so if you, if someone's in your home, you can actually, shoot them. You have the right to do that. But what that doesn't go on to say is that most of the time you get arrested for that, and then you have to prove in court that it was your Make Your Day thing. So it costs you hundreds of thousands. You can go bankrupt, so you don't go to jail for executing that right. So it's really not something you should do lightly. But
Or this other scenario. What if somebody's banging on your door, kicks it in and breaks in, it's a female, she's pissed off at you, and it's a girlfriend, and you're having an affair, and she breaks in and comes after you, you have a right to shoot her dead?
no, you have to feel your life is threatened.
By 2.
By a viable threat.
By 2 of them now.
Yeah, 2 women, maybe. But
Well,
no,
that's another
anyway.
scenario.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and I still don't believe we should take away all weapons. I think that in
so.
order to have one, you should have to go to training, you should have to register it, you should have a limited number of bullets that you can purchase.
Let me give you this other
you should
scenario. Wait, there's more scenarios here. You can't just say break in the house. Okay, so one time, this was scary as hell. We have cameras on our house, so I seen on the cameras all this SWAT team come running up to my house. And they're pounding on the door, and some are coming around the back. I got scared as hell. I went to the door. I kind of went to the side and opened the door because you don't know what they're going to do. And they both looked at each other. They were getting a call. Sir, we're very sorry, wrong house.
Oh my God, how scary is that?
That was scary as hell.
Yeah,
Now,
that's scary.
do you have the right to shoot them?
No, well, no, probably not.
Why?
Well,
They're entering my house.
But you can clearly see they're police, so if you have a brain in your head, you don't pick anything up. You stand there until they come after it.
If they're breaking in my house, I would have shot them dead.
You probably would.
One after another. I would have pulled out an AK.
Oh, Henry, I'm going
15.
to tell you are not.
I would have.
You have one? You don't have one.
No, I don't.
Okay, then you're not pulling that out.
My friend has one.
But
he pulled out his guitar case. I thought he was showing me a guitar.
and it was a gun.
It was an AK-15.
I have friends that have gun collections, and they have Tommy guns and
Yeah, all
other
this
things.
crazy shit.
And it's and that's okay. They're a collector, and they probably have to. But I think those people should have to have special permits. I believe that we should have to have training.
What do you need them
I
for,
don't
though?
think anybody that's 18 should be able to buy those types of AR-15s or being given those.
AK-47.
I think an 18-year-old probably could get a hunting rifle, but the point is that we're doing nothing to fix the problem, but those types of assault weapons need to be banned. Period. The average person does not need it. If you're a collector, if you live rural, you should have to prove that, and maybe with training you can get one. The other thing is they'll say, well, only criminals will get guns. Well, I will contest that the majority of the people that commit these crimes are not criminals.
That's
They
what I
are
was gonna
once
say.
they do it, but
Yeah.
they haven't, they're not like these criminals that you're thinking, these roving gangs of people are
Yeah,
criminals.
no.
They're usually middle class people, and most of them are white or, white. This person happened to be brown, but it's still part of the white race. So, most of them happen to be white. Most of them happen to be middle class. Most of them happen to be about 16, 17, 18 years old.
Wow.
And the reality is that a 16-year-old, like the kid that shot up King Soopers here, or the 18-year-old that shot in Texas, most of them, if they're not the type of criminal that would know the type of criminals that sell automatic weapons.
Now, the thing is,
like, they'd have to look, by the time they figured out where they could get one, there's a good chance that whatever was pushing them to do this may have abated. There's no excuse for these weapons on the street, period.
in some of these cases, like when they go to the ghetto trying to pull this kind of stuff, you never hear about that, right? You know why?
Because they don't care.
No.
Oh, because
Everybody's got a gun.
Yeah.
Hey, get out of here. Shut up.
What, you think that's a gun?
Yeah, the 10 guns come out.
Yeah, but,
no, that's real.
No, that is true.
Even the police have to go in with 4 police officers in a squad car when they go to certain areas in California.
Yeah, it's true.
Because they're so frightened of the area.
Well, and
because they'll pull out guns. And
what about a gun buyback program? Why don't we do that?
No, I don't want to buy back a bunch of junk.
Well, who cares? Get them off the street, because the
Well,
problem
no.
is there's 3 or 4 guns for every
Aren't
single
they all
person.
registered?
Yeah, right.
Well, if they are, just send them all little notes in the mail.
Saying turn them in.
Turn them in, or we're going to come after you.
Well, what I'm talking about is a buyback in general, not just for
I wouldn't
AK.
buy back a bunch of junk.
I would. I would offer it, because then you can destroy them. So you have, and then people, for
Why?
example.
Just go after the gun manufacturers and shut them down.
Well, you gotta
like
have
they
some.
did the baby formula place.
Well, you gotta have some guns. I mean.
Why? You keep saying
Because it's a
we
right
don't need
of,
no guns.
I
No,
will
it's not no
strongly
right.
defend the fact that we have to have,
No.
that people have a right to have a
No.
weapon.
Why?
It's just those automatic weapons,
No,
those ARs and
sir,
those
Rhonda,
automatic
nobody
stuff.
needs a gun. That's mainly for killing.
Or protection, or hunting,
Protection against who?
or trap shooting, or target practice.
No,
or,
sir, none
yeah,
of that. You don't need a gun.
Yeah, I will, or
You know,
camping, or hiking,
No,
or
you
out
know
in the
what you
woods.
need? I'm selling, now if you guys want to, Rhonda and me are putting together this thing, we're selling slingshots. And,
Yeah, yes, that'll work.
And it comes with a whole stack of
But
rocks.
what kind of hunter needs an AR-15? I mean, stop and think about it.
Did you know you can hunt with a slingshot and a bow and arrow?
I know, bow and arrows, that, but also the regular weapons. I mean, if you have to, like, automatic fire weapons like that, you're not doing you're not very good aim. But I did have one hunter tell me, and this was an interesting point of view, that they like that type of bullet and they like that weapon because when they fire it, they want to do a one shot and kill. They don't want the animal to suffer. And
Sue Weaver's asking, is Henry a hunter?
no.
Of what?
Yeah, he's not a hunter.
Well, of what?
I'm not going to even say what.
Go for it.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Nope.
He's not a hunter or a gatherer. He's just a taker.
Oh my God,
That's what
Rhonda.
Pearl said.
Oh God.
No.
You hurt my feelings.
But, I am not
You think
opposed.
I don't have feelings, right?
Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah, you go for it.
Yeah, you
No,
don't.
good.
No.
You know, no, I'm not a hunter.
but anyway,
I
to
do
be
hunt.
serious.
I have gone hunting.
I know, I've gone too.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah,
gone hunting?
bear
And
and
are you
deer.
ready to go shoot?
Well, my bear hunting experience was one of the worst experiences of my life.
Did you shoot a bear?
No, I almost got killed.
Then why are
It
you,
was scary as hell.
hunting bears?
I was out with some friends of mine, and they were doing their bear hunt, and they used to,
Why?
they would skin it, use the skin, they took the meat, they turned it into jerky, they did all that stuff. And the fog came in, and I'm sitting by a reed, and I got this gun that was too big for me, the stock didn't even fit on my arm, and you could hear the bear, they had pig head out there, you could hear the bear tromping around, and I thought, oh my God. And they're up in the rock, by the way, the 2 guys up, but they got rocks behind them. I got nothing behind me, I got weeds. I'm scared to death, and so they said, whatever you do, don't take the safety off. Well, I took the safety off because I got scared. And then one of them comes walking through the woods, I almost killed him. I mean,
Jeez.
I was almost shot. So it was like, I'm not doing that again. That was
You ever gone elk hunting or deer
no,
hunting?
deer. I have gone deer hunting and I couldn't do it. I went and
You want to shoot a deer?
I couldn't do it.
So then how are you going to shoot somebody breaking in your house?
Well, if my life was
If you
threatened,
can't even...
a deer's not threatening my life. I could have shot the deer if it charged me and was going to kill me.
Well then, I don't believe you can shoot a human.
I could.
I don't think you can.
Okay.
I think you'd be frightened to death.
I'd shoot him.
No, you wouldn't.
If I thought my life or my children's life was in danger, I absolutely
And
would.
what kind of danger would that be?
Like they're going to kill us.
With guns?
Anyway, guns, knives, choking us. I don't care how they're going to kill us. If I think my life's
I think they get their ass
I'll
beat.
tell you this right now, Henry. If I thought my life or my family's life was in danger, yes. But that would be the only excuse. And here's the other thing, I just can't believe we do nothing. Like I said, we have to do something.
Several times there have been people breaking in our house, and that's for real. We even had a female in the garage breaking in. And so I caught her. She took off running. I used to be a great runner. I was barefooted, but I took off running with her down the path, and we went to an open field, but I knew there was glass out there, so I had to stop chasing her. She was screaming bloody murder. It was because I was after her.
Good.
She didn't think nobody was. Well, my sons had come over. They're going to eat a pizza after the graduation at CU, and they left the car, just in the garage, and brought the pizza in. They forgot to close the garage door. I said, "I'll close it," and that's where I caught her out there in the car.
Well, all I know is that when it comes to things like these mass destructions and weapons, we need to do something. And and we can start with universal background checks. We can start with a wait period.
Well,
we can start with requiring you to have a license and insure the gun. We can start with you not being able to buy a weapon like that unless you're 21 or unless you have special training for it. We could start with psychiatric evaluations that you have to be signed off by a